I now call this meeting to order. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been provided by filing a copy with the municipal clerk on December 19th, 2000, faxing a copy to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the Highland Park Herald on December 21st, 2000 at 1 p.m. and posting a copy on the bulletin board of the main floor of Borough Hall, 221 South 5th Avenue, Highland Park on December 21st, 2000 at 1 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mayor Frank.
Here.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin. Here. Councilman Kaczynski. Councilman Raspa.
Here.
Councilwoman Ricketts. Here. Councilwoman Wolf. Here. Borough Attorney McCarthy.
Here.
Borough Administrator Kuntz.
Here.
We're going straight to the motion. Okay, one motion. Do I have a motion to adopt the following: resolution to cancel unexpended appropriation balances, resolution to approve pay estimate number 5, resolution to amend annual salary resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Steve? Steve must be here. We're already there. Let's move on.
That might be my son.
Good evening, everyone. I have the honor of administering the oath of office to Councilman-elect Stephen Busby. Stephen, would you place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand? I, Stephen T. Busby,
I, Stephen T. Busby,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, justly, and impartially
perform all the duties of the office of Highland Park Borough Councilman
perform the duties of the office of Highland Park Borough Councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
and
to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
Now I have the honor of swearing in Councilwoman Kimberly Ricketts, who I have known for quite a number of years, and I'm very honored to have this privilege. Okay. I, Kimberly S. Ricketts,
I, Kimberly S. Ricketts,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of Highland Park Borough Councilwoman
of the office of Highland Park Borough Councilwoman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
and
and to the governments established in the United States
to the governments established in the United
and
States
in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
I now call this meeting to order. Okay, do you want this again now? Hi, everybody. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been provided by filing a copy with the municipal clerk on December 19, 2000, faxing a copy to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the Highland Park Herald on December 21st, 2000 at 1 p.m., and posting a copy on the bulletin board of the main floor of Borough Hall, 221 South Fifth Avenue, Highland Park on December 21st, 2000 at 1 p.m. Okay, I don't see Mr. Conover, so I'm going to ask our two new council members, Councilman Busby and Councilwoman Ricketts, to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Frank.
Here.
Councilman Busby.
Here.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin.
Here.
Councilman Raspa.
Here.
Councilwoman Ricketts. Here. Councilwoman Wolf. Here. Borough Attorney McCarthy.
Here.
Borough Administrator Kuhn.
Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to report that the Middlesex County Board of Elections has certified the elections of Stephen T. Busby and Kimberly S. Ricketts as members of the Borough Council of the Borough of Highland Park. They have subscribed to the oath of office and allegiance and are now qualified to assume their duly elected positions on the governing body.
That's a great idea. Let's have it. Okay, I'm going to be brief tonight because you'll hear plenty from me next week when I do the State of the Borough address. And tonight is a night for Steve and Kim, and I just wanted to say a few things. The first thing that I wanted to say is look how far we've come. Last year, we couldn't finish this meeting. Last year, this community was divided, people in this room were divided, and this year, we've been able to come together. The community spoke, and this community spoke loudly and clearly. And we have a new, fresh face to this council, and it's been a remarkable journey, and I am so, so very proud. I'm very proud of these two new council members. Kim brings to the council expertise in finance. She's taken this on with such vigor and done such a wonderful job. Steve will bring to us expertise in development and economic development, and we shouldn't forget Elsie, also a new council member sworn in a month ago. Elsie is the type of woman that you ask her to do something and it's done the next day and it's done well and she's on time, she knows what she's doing, she's driven. And you know, I'd like to think that these three didn't just hit the ground running, these three are flying. And I'm just, you know, I'm speaking like the Jewish mother that I am, I'm belling. But I'm very, very proud of them and I'm sure that you will all be too. Just in closing, you know, it was a very difficult year. You all know that. And I think that this council is now poised to take on the problems that we're going to face. And I think that they're going to prove to all of you that I'm very right about them and that this is going to be the best little town in the United States. And so now I would like to present to you the two new council members, Steve Busby and Kim Ricketts. Steve, thank you. You guys can go next. Right.
I'd like to thank all of you for coming here tonight, and I would also like to thank Assemblywoman Buono for her presence here and her assistance with this event. I would also like to wish Bruce Kaczynski and Frank Reff well as they embark on their new council-free existence. They have given selflessly of their time and effort over many years, and Highland Park owes them a debt of gratitude. I hope they will allow us to occasionally disrupt their tranquil new lifestyle as we ask for assistance in dealing with some of the thorny issues that they have dealt with so ably during their many years of fine service to this community. They will be missed. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the many, many people who helped with our campaign. Their tireless efforts on our behalf made me truly appreciate how strong this grassroots movement has become and the many new friends and acquaintances I have made during the past year have helped me reach a greater understanding of what it is that makes our town such an interesting and wonderful place to live. To our esteemed mayor, I would simply like to say thank you. Without Mayor Frank's courage, vision, and commitment to change in this town, we would not be standing up here tonight. And to Councilwoman Ricketts and Foster Dublin, thanks as well. I could not have asked for two more talented, organized, and energetic running mates. Finally, thanks to my wife, Monica, and my son, John, whose third birthday is today. I only hope that the patience and support they both demonstrated throughout the campaign will continue over the next 3 years. When John asked me, as he did so many times in the past year, "You go meeting now?" in the coming years, I trust he will understand when the answer is yes. At our election night celebration in November, some of you who are in attendance may recall my comment about how pleased I was to have been elected on the same night that the Democratic Party's presidential candidate seemed to be doing so well. Whoops. Who knew? That was probably not my first error in political judgment, and I'm sure it will most likely not be my last. But I do plan to do my level best to keep mistakes to a minimum, and I will always try to do right for Highland Park. And there is much to be done. For example, the impending departure of our terrific economic development coordinator, Mary Tangolix, leaves a significant hole in our borough staff, but also provides a significant opportunity to reassess our approach to the revitalization of the downtown. We need to develop a long-range vision for the future of our town, one that balances the continued need to find sources of revenue through reduced vacancy rates, while also seeking to capitalize on the unique character of Highland Park. We must actively seek out retail establishments that will reflect the rich, diverse makeup of our population, while building on the many successes achieved during Mary Tangolix's tenure here. There has been a marked improvement in the look of our downtown recently, but much more can be accomplished in the future. Work on the downtown revitalization effort needs to be coupled with a strong new master plan for the borough, one that takes into account the very limited remaining open space, while also identifying areas that can support new development. I will seek to ensure that guidelines set forth in the new master plan are closely followed at all levels of borough government. These, among many, are complicated, difficult issues that do not lend themselves to simple solutions. But as long as we on the council keep the best interests of the citizens of Highland Park at the top of our priority list, we will find solutions beneficial to the town. I'm committed to helping this community thrive as a center of diversity in which all voices are heard and considered, in which our wonderful schools are given the resources and flexibility they need to flourish, and where the special character of this town is always enhanced and never diminished. Please let me know your issues and concerns over the coming years. I will have a special telephone number for council business available by next week at Borough Hall. Please use it. I look forward to the honor of serving you as councilman, and I thank you for the trust you've placed in me. I promise to serve this community to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Thank you to all of Highland Park. There are so many people to thank who are responsible for my standing up here tonight. Tonight I want to take a brief opportunity to thank everyone as a whole and some specific individuals. I'm not going to talk campaign, I'm not going to talk platform issues. What I want to do is share with you what I've learned in the past 5 months while finishing the unexpired term of the late Leon Cohen, and to share with you more about who Kim Ricketts is and what you can expect from me over the next 3 years. Unfortunately, Barbara Bono has left, but I want to thank Assemblywoman Barbara Bono for agreeing to be here tonight to deliver the oath for this office. Throughout the campaign, both the primary and the general election, a number of residents asked me, who and what resources did I have available to me, being that I was a new elected official? I consider Assemblywoman Barbara Bono one of those key resources. Hers was the first campaign I contributed to in New Jersey. I heard about her work as a legislator through my involvement with the New Jersey Association of Women Business Owners. I interacted with her and began to learn her style through Ready to Run, Women Helping Women, and the New Jersey Association of Mental Health Agencies, where she worked with us in putting together and finding funds for a school violence prevention program. Her style is to be involved in her communities and to represent the interests of her constituents. For that, I both admire and respect her efforts, and I thank her for being here tonight. I also see another resource in the audience, and that would be Assemblyman Bob Smith. He's here tonight, and he was very quick to say, if you need anything, if Highland Park needs anything, if you have questions, if you need assistance, don't hesitate to call. He may be sorry he said that, but I also want to thank our mayor, Mayor Frank, for her support and respect and recognition that I was going to be an asset to this community. So thank you. I also want to thank all of the volunteers and the voters, because without you, I wouldn't be standing up here tonight. I also want to thank the current and recently passed council members. You have all held very true to your offers to assist. I must say, though, Frank Reff was really quick to hand over the responsibility of signing for all of the invoices. But he did take me and walk me through it, and I'm really going to miss you. I also want to thank all of the council members sitting up here, because whenever I've had a question, it didn't matter. Whatever it was, if they didn't know, they helped me find out where to go. And I'm looking forward to working with everyone sitting up here. I also want to thank Valerie Thompson, our borough clerk, and Jose Augusto, who is not here, he's our chief financial officer, for being extremely patient with all of my questions. I can assure you that there are many more to come, and I hope your patience holds out, Valerie. I also want to thank, there are some specific friends who were very supportive during both the campaigns. They fed me, literally, Kim, it's dinner time, let's go. They made sure that I got out, that I had a little bit of fun in between things. And not all of them are here tonight, but that would be Debbie Lancaster and Derek Hartwick, who are not here tonight, and that's probably because they have a brand new addition to their family, Noah. Jeff and Venus Morris. Jeff is our outgoing fire chief, and Venus his wife, and my next door neighbors. And they were really good about saying, okay, are you eating? Are you sleeping enough? You know, you need to take a break. Candace Howard, who doesn't live in Highland Park, but she was right there with us, walking and out in the streets and volunteering. And a special friend and colleague who couldn't be here tonight, but who spent many hours, that was in a different state, on the phone with me, saying, you can do it, you can do it. I also want to thank Richard Marks, who's not here tonight. I don't see him in the audience, but he said, you know, you're elected now, and you have some great ideas. And he said, you should make a rose list. And I said, what's a rose list? And he said, it's a list of all the things that you want to do, and see how you've done. Check yourself every 6 months, see what's going on. So that was a great idea. I want to share with you what I've learned in the last 5 months. I'm going to simplify it because I've learned quite a bit. But it's not easy. And if anybody tells you it is, they're not being straight with you. And sometimes it's a full-time job. And sometimes, yes, I'm going to say this, I know that the press is in here, sometimes I go, what am I doing? But there are reasons, and I'll share that with you. I've also learned that one decision over here affects all facets of the borough. And it's not easy to decide what to do. Assemblyman Smith and I were just talking with my parents tonight about, you know, not everybody has all the answers. That's why we have committees. And it's not always easy when you have 10 choices and you can only choose one. I've also learned, if I didn't know it before, I certainly know it now, that Highland Park has talented and expert professionals, both contract and employees. And I know I've still yet to find out the extent of their talents and the difficulties and the challenges that they face in their jobs. You've also been asking me, so Kim, how do you like it? What's it like? Well, I can honestly tell you that I love it. I really do. It is a learning experience, and every time I learn something new, it's a benefit to the borough, and it's a benefit to me, and it's a win-win. What's it like? The best example I can give is it's like a corporation. This is a corporation. Highland Park's a corporation, and the residents of Highland Park are the stockholders. And whatever we do is in your best interest, or that's the way we want it to be. So that's the best example I can give you. In closing, I have some final thank yous. Thank you to Steve Busby. We had a lot of good times, a lot of long nights the first go around, and I just want to thank, because I get cranky sometimes, and we put up with a lot. I also want to say thank you to Elsie Foster Dudley, because through her eyes and her experience in her home country of Jamaica and listening to her stories, I have such a greater appreciation of the democratic process and the fact that I'm now a part of it. And I want to thank my parents. The two individuals that were standing up here are my parents, Paul and Brenda Ricketts. They came up from North Carolina just for the snow. I want to thank them because, for without them, I literally wouldn't be standing here tonight. My parents have instilled in me very strong values that I live and work by. They taught me to respect myself, to respect others, and take responsibility for all of my actions. They taught me it's okay to disagree as long as I do it with respect. They taught me it's okay to make mistakes as long as I learn something from the mistake. They've also taught me it's okay to say you don't know as long as you make the effort to find out the answer. And above all, they've taught me to do the right things for the right reasons. So if you don't like what I'm doing, I'll give you their phone number in North Carolina. In closing, you have my word that I hold true to all the things that I said in my campaign. And I intend to work on those issues and do what I can as a part of this team that sits up here on your behalf within the process and the resources available. I can, I am, and I will work with the mayor, all the council members, and borough employees and professionals. I can, I am, and I will work for the residents of Highland Park. When I ask questions, they're on your behalf because I want to understand and know that we are doing the right things for the right reasons. Tonight, I'm telling you that the way I see what is coming and what we've been through is this. The past is behind us, the present is here for us all to work in, and the future is ahead for all of us to make a difference. Thank you, and I look forward to serving all of you, the residents of Highland Park.
Do I have a motion on the resolution to adopt the rules of order for 2001?
Move to adopt.
Okay. For a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilman Busby.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster Dudley.
Yes.
Councilman Rasta.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ricketts.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wolf.
Yes.
Do I have a nomination for President of Council 2001?
Yes, I would like to nominate a member of our council who has proven herself to be a dedicated, hardworking, and committed member of this council. We are all inspired by her willingness to serve the citizens of Highland Park. She also has extensive knowledge in all of our committees, and I know the rest of the council will be going and asking her for her advice in a lot of decisions we're going to have to make. I am proud to nominate Nancy Wolf for council president.
Second.
You need a motion.
I move that the nominations be closed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Frank? Let me see, where's the plaque? Val? Plaque.
Oh, right there on top of the, stop.
Make sure you get the right one.
They should be in order.
behalf of the Borough of Highland Park, I'd like to thank you for your years of service and for your dedication to this town. Service in your community is often difficult, and it takes away precious time from your friends and family. You know that very well. Was it 45 years of service to your community? 53, excuse me, 53 years. And very often people take it for granted, but I want to assure you that people in this community don't take for granted your dedication, and that we want to recognize you for that today. Thank you very, very much for all those years and all that help. I hope I can count on you for coming back.
Oh, Frank, I'll make this brief for everyone, because I know you'll appreciate that. I hope everyone knows, I know Frank does, he has my greatest admiration. Frank was one of the first committee chairs that I sat with. He taught me so much about the meaning of various things in Highland Park, but especially pragmatism, which is really having to do with the affairs of state or community, concerned with actual practice, everyday's affairs, and especially dealing with historical facts and their causal effects and relationship. What that translates into is that Frank taught me a lot of history. He taught me how to implement policies that were good for the borough. Frank brought many skills, as well as his people skills, to the borough. He will be sorely missed. I do hope I will be able to call on him, because he's been a good friend, on top of being a very good council member to sit with. And amongst many things that Frank has done over his long and illustrious career, he's not only carried on the borough's business, but he's also reminded us to look at people as people. He's reminded us to laugh, to do what you have to do, and enjoy yourselves. And on the end note, I'm also an Irish woman, and I'd like to leave you with an Irish blessing, if I may. May your troubles be less, and your blessings be more, and may nothing but happiness come through your door.
I would just like to say thank you to everyone in Highland Park, the new people who have come in the last 30 years, and the people who have been here for the last 63 years, although I have. My volunteering started out at the age of 18, and I hadn't stopped until, I think, 2 weeks ago. And I need rest. I've got to take some time off for myself. But I will be available to assist any one of the people up here today at any time they need me, whether it be nighttime, weekends, holidays, whatever, because my body's used to keep it going. I would like to say, I know very little about most of the people up here. Nancy, I know, has probably been, in my 13 years, one of the hardest working council people that I can remember. Kim Ricketts, on the last 5 or 6 months, it's been a pleasure. I told you this to your face, that you are going to be a credit to this community because you put yourself in it 100%. I always said if I couldn't give 100% of myself, that it would be time to bow out. And 2 weeks ago, I bowed out. Mayor, we got along great. Let's face it, the last 4 months we had our problems, and we worked together to solve them. Valerie, I can remember you going back many, many years. And I think you're going to follow me out this year. Richard, I had fun interviewing you, letting you know a little bit about what Highland Park is about, and I wish you a lot of success in the future. Steve, I don't know you. I didn't know you. But I'm sure with your attitude and your presence, you will be a benefit to the community. And Elsie, same with you. I've only known you for the last month, and I haven't had any contact with you, but I'm sure you're going to do well, too. Sal, I go back when your father was a councilman. When he played football for Highland Park when I was in school. That goes back a ways. But I just want to say thank you very much to everybody in Highland Park. And if I had to do it again, I would certainly do it. Thank you.
Frank, this is 2-for-1 night at the Borough Council meeting. Guess what? You get another plaque. And this is presented by the Highland Park Mayor and Borough Council to Frank Reff Jr. for outstanding public service on the Highland Park Borough Council. Table number 2 for next week? 12. I'm sorry.
So, 101.
Okay. So moved. Okay, fire chief. Tonight is our night for plaques, and tonight we are presenting a plaque to Jeff Morris. His wife Venus and his son are here to accept it for him. I believe Kim Ricketts is going to read a letter from Jeff. Jeff is our outgoing fire chief. He has served on the fire department since 1986, and he is a third generation Highland Park, third or fourth generation. His great-grandfather was a member of the Highland Park Fire Department. Jeff served with distinction. He's a great guy, and we look forward to having him involved in Highland Park in all sorts of ways. Please thank him for us and give us his article. Thank you.
Jeff couldn't be here tonight, and he put something together for me to share with you. But before I read this, I want to tell you that I know Jeff and Venus first as my neighbors. And I know Jeff second as a volunteer fire member and as the outgoing chief. I want to tell you that I've learned quite a bit about the volunteer fire department here in Highland Park. I know many of the members, that's through Jeff, and all of them are very special and hardworking individuals. And I want to stress the word volunteer. My parents are up from North Carolina, and my dad said, "Your fire department's volunteer? How does that work?" And so we talked about that, because where I grew up, it's not volunteer, and sometimes you think if it were, whoop, you might have been in trouble. But in this town, we're well taken care of. I want to tell you that I know Jeff, that he is a real person. What you see is what you get. He's kind, he's respectful, he's one of the hardest working people that I know. And everything that he takes on, whether it's helping me move my furniture in, or as the chief of the fire department, he does it with all of his heart and soul. He couldn't be here tonight because he recently received a promotion. He works for the Department of Corrections, and last night he was sworn in as a sergeant, and his schedule has changed. So I'd like to read to you what he put together. Mayor Frank, members of council, members of the Highland Park Volunteer Fire